Welcome back to 31 Days in Proverbs. Today is the fourth day of the month, which means we're in Proverbs chapter 4. And I want to start off today, actually at the end of chapter 4. If you go to verse 25, 26, and 27, it actually references what we talked about on day 2. If you haven't seen day 2, I would encourage you to go back and take a look at that one because we talked about the path. And I don't want to recover all of that today, but I do want to read this to you because I think it's a good reminder. And it says this, verse 25, "Let thine eyes look right on. Let thy eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil." This is Solomon yet again reminding his son to get on the path, stay on the path, and remember, you're only one good decision away from being back on the path. Set your sights on where you need to go, get established, get serious about it, and remove thy foot from evil. And that's what we're going to actually jump back to earlier in this chapter, and that's the topic I want to talk about today. Verse 14, 15, and 16 says this, "Enter not into the path of the wicked." There we go with path again. It keeps coming up. I'm not doing this on purpose. It's here. That's in the word. "Enter not in the path of the wicked. Go not in the way of evil men." He doubles down in verse 15. "Avoid it. Pass not by it. Turn from it and pass away." Solomon is imploring with his son. He's pleading with his son. Don't go near the evil men. Don't go near those that are not doing good. Don't hang out with them. Don't just not associate them. Don't even get in that atmosphere. Solomon knows from living a life, and he knows from his father. This chapter actually starts out with him saying, "I learned these things from my father." From David taught me these things. If you put yourself in a bad situation, you're going to make mistakes. If you put yourself in a bad atmosphere, you're going to make mistakes. We are many times a product of our environment. And when we get in the wrong environment, bad things happen. And Solomon knew that, and he was telling his son, don't put yourself in a place where you're going to make a mistake. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are trying to break a habit, if you're trying to do better, let's pick an example I think everyone would understand. Let's say you were trying to break an addiction to something. If you are hanging out with people that are addicted to that thing, if you're putting yourself in an atmosphere where that thing that you're addicted to is, you are never going to break that addiction. You're going to have to do what Solomon said. Is he says, don't go on the path, don't go in the way, avoid it, pass not by it, turn away from it. You got to get yourself out of that environment. Many times, we pray or we think or we yearn to want to be able to do better, but then we put ourselves in an environment or around certain people that cause us not to do better. And so wisdom's an action word. Remember we talked about that? Wisdom's an action word. Hokmah means life skill. One of those skills is you're going to have to get the skill of getting away from toxic people, people that enable you, or atmospheres that cause you harm. It was just fascinating study, this research that was done about some of the soldiers that were addicted to heroin in the end of the Vietnam conflict. Heroin's one of those drugs you don't just quickly or easily break your addiction to. It was phenomenal to understand how many of those men came home, and when they were reintroduced back into the American culture, they broke those addictions quickly and easily. Now, if you know the statistics, people that get off of heroin, it's a terrible statistic. Not many people do it. But many, and in fact, most of these soldiers were able to break free from that addiction. Why? Because they took themselves out of the environment into a completely different environment where this was no longer the norm, and they went back to their normal lives. Don't go in an environment that's going to cause you harm. Stay away from it. And he goes on, not just environment, but verse 16, he goes on to the people. He says, he's talking about evil men. "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall." Could I be real with you and tell you there are people in your life, there are toxic individuals that can't sleep unless they drag you down with them. And if you'll stop and you'll look around, you'll be able to see who they are. These are the people that tell you it's okay, just do you, do whatever feels good, we're all in this together, it's fine. And let me tell you something. These people don't want to see you win. Because if you win, if you break free from whatever's holding you back, it makes them feel real bad. Makes them feel bad about themselves. So your success will actually make these people uncomfortable. If you break your addiction, the other addicts will hate you because they'll feel bad about themselves. I'm going to tell you something. If you want to find out who your friends are, start doing good. If you want to find out who your friends are, start winning. If you want to find out who really cares about you, start trying to get on the right path. And the people that cheer you on and encourage you on the right path and want to see you win, those are your friends. And the people that try to drag you back into the old ways, you need to cut ties with those people. This is life and death we're talking about here. You got to cut ties with people that want to pull you down. And this is, don't take my word for it, Solomon, wisest man who ever lived, he was warning his son about those people. So I'm going to close today with encouraging you, take a look around and start cutting out some of the atmospheres and maybe some of the relationships that are keeping you stuck where you are, and then start finding people and say, hey, that person's winning. That person's living a godly life. That person's living a life of chokmah, of skill, of applied knowledge, and start surrounding yourself with some people that want to see you win. Shameless plug coming up, but I just got to tell you, I go to a church called Grace Church, and at this church, people want to see you win. They want to see you succeed. I would love to help you along that journey. Please let us know in the comments if there's anything from chapter 4 that spoke to you. God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow.